Hi everyone, welcome to math. So today our lesson is going to be about mixed and entire radicals. So it's going to start looking just like our information from last week, but we're going to move into entire radicals. So today we're going to start with these examples, and they are cubed roots. And we're trying to write each of these cubed roots in simplest form. So just like on Friday. So one thing for today as well is I'm going to include a video of me doing some of these problems. It's just too hard to do it on the computer, so I'm going to take a video of myself doing the questions, okay? So I'm just going to walk through a couple of these examples. So let's look at A. So the cubed root of 40. So just like last time, we need to split this up into two radicals. So we need to find two factors, so two numbers that multiply together to get 40. And one of them needs to be a perfect cube, not a perfect square. So I gave you this chart. So these are the perfect cubes. So we need to use one of these numbers that multiplies to get the radicand. Okay, it has to be a cubed this time. Last week we focused on the square. Okay, so when you look at that, you would have seen that it's 8 and 5. So you split that up, and then you take the cubed root of this because it's a perfect cube. So that is 2, and then you leave the remaining radicand, so the cubed root of 5. Okay. Now it gets a little different when it comes into variables. So last week we did even and then divide by 2. Well, this week with cubes, it's odd. So odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7. And we are going to divide by 3. We're dividing by the index number. Okay, so just like A, we're going to take 250 as the radicand, and we need to find two factors that multiply together to get 250. So on our perfect cube sheet, we would have seen that it's 125. Okay, then we're going to still look at the variables. So the next lowest odd number of 4, x to the 4, is x to the 3, right? But there's still one remaining, so it's going to go in the second radical. But then our next variable, y to the power of 3, that little superscript right here, the exponent is odd, so we can keep it, so y to the 3. So 125 times 2 is 250, and we had 1x left over. Okay, so then we take the cubed root of all this information, so that's 5x xy. So see how all I had to do here was divide these exponents by 3. Okay, so it became a 1, and then it's the cube root of 2x. Okay, so walk through those questions, do them yourself so you can follow that process. So then, of course, we have the fourth root. And if you are struggling to do this on your calculator, please look on the classroom, and I uploaded a video for an iPhone calculator and a few of the other calculators I've seen in class, and I've showed you the buttons that you'll need to press to get these answers. So for the cubed root, you're going to look in this column. So 16, 81, 256, 625, 1296. Okay, so we need to find two factors that go into 162. So that perfect cube or fourth is 81. So 81 times 2. So then we do the fourth root of 81, which is 3, and then we leave this remainder of a fourth root of 2. Okay? So just know how to do those problems, okay? It would be really important for you to try to do those problems as practice. So pause the video and do those. So now for the bulk of today's lesson is entire and mixed radicals. So radicals of the form n, so when we have an index, so usually it's 2, 3, or 4, such as, so the square root of 80, the cube root of 144, and the fourth root of 112 are entire radicals, because that means everything is under the root symbol, okay? So when everything is underneath this little root symbol, not including the index, that's a part of the root symbol. But then radicals of the form when it has a coefficient, okay, such as when it's 4, root symbol 5, or anything like this, these are known as mixed radicals. So it's a multiplication in front of a root symbol, okay? So what we've done is taken before, like Friday and earlier today, we took an entire radical and changed it to a mixed radical. Well, now we're going to start with a mixed radical and end up our answer as an entire radical. Okay, so this should look similar to answers you have solved last week. Okay, so what we do is the exact opposite of what we did last week. So we take this 4, this coefficient of 4, and we need to move it underneath the root symbol. So the action you would have done was taking the square root of 4. So the opposite of taking the square root is to square it. So you're going to write 4 squared times 7. Okay, that's how we get that coefficient underneath the root symbol. So then you do 4 squared in your calculator, and that's 16. And then 16 times 7 is 112. Okay, so similar, let's look at B. So we have 2 cube root 14. So we're going to take this coefficient and we're going to cube it. So whatever our index is, we're going to cube it and put that underneath our root symbol. Okay, and then we do that action. So 2 to the power of 3 is 8. 8 times 14 is 112. Okay, now we get a little confused. Oh, sorry for this box here. We get a little confused soon as variables are introduced. Okay, so let's follow along with this one. We have 2x squared root symbol 7. Okay, so we need to move this 2x squared coefficient underneath this root. So we are going to square this entire term. Okay, so you're going to write that term and then put brackets around it and put an exponent of 2. Okay, and times 7. Because you need to times 2 by the whole number and by the exponent. So you're going to do 2 times 2. That equals 4. X to the power of 2 times 2. You add these, and that is 4. Okay, and times by 7. So 4 times 7, 28x to the power of 4. So let's look at this one. This one's with a cubed root. So 6x cubed root of 3x. So we need to cube all of this information. So you're going to write 6x in brackets and cube it. And don't forget the remainder of 3x. So then we do 3 times 6, or 6 cubed, 6 cubed, and that's 216. And then you cube x. So x cubed becomes x cubed. Okay, and then multiply the whole numbers, 648, and then add these exponents. So 3 plus 1, so x 4. So we have quite a few problems here to complete, so try to get as many of these done as you can. And like I mentioned, I'm going to post a video also of me doing some of those questions so you can follow along with me actually writing it out. Okay, so check that out if you're having some troubles. Don't forget to come to the Google Meet if you want me to go over any questions for you, or you have some questions, or email me anytime. Okay, have a good day.